KWT slaying.
Salama family, salama, how y'all doing today? Hope you're blessed and highly favored. So today I'm gonna talk about things that I'm gonna need you to read between the lines for a lot of stuff because I'm not gonna be too overt with it because this is the type of stuff, you get shut down for. Maybe not today, but they'll come back. If it's not today, they'll come back a year or two later and then hit me. So they might do it anyway. So it's something we have to talk about. The mark of the beast, right? We've talked about it before. And my opinion, this is my opinion. My opinion is that most people are going to take it. And why do I say that? And when I say most people, I mean Christians and Israelites. And why do I say that? Because I look how some of our people move when they see scriptures that go contrary to their doctrine. They start making up stuff and they get sort of like in this Christianese mindset where the Most High didn't mean what he said and say what he mean, right? So when we look at the scriptures, it's sort of like with Adam and Eve, right? So Eve sees the tree and she saw that it was good for food. Then she saw, oh, it's good to make one wise because she listened to the serpent. And I guarantee you the type of thoughts that went through her mind was like, well, Yah created everything. He created the tree of good and the tree of evil. So if Yah created it, then it must be good. Right? They start gaslighting themselves. It's sort of like what happened during the time of the lollipop. Right? You give them the evidence, you give them the teachings, you give them the research, and they say, I'm going to trust God. So I'm going to take a lollipop. And then you have the other crew that says, you know what? I'm going to trust God and not take a lollipop. So who really trusted God? The ones who said, okay, you got all this stuff going on, but I'm going to trust the Most High. I'm not going to take the lollipop. Or the ones who took the lollipop. See, they didn't talk themselves into it. Well, you don't have faith. Have faith. You can go and take it. Have faith. You see, not knowing the word, your body is a temple, is holy unto Lord, set apart for his service. Don't defile his temple. As a matter of fact, he don't even want you to eat certain things. You can't even come into the presence of the Most High. You eat that pork or even touch it. But I'm just saying, some of y'all like, okay, well, I trust Babylon like that. And so, I like lollipops because they didn't scare the living daylights out of me. See, this the same thing going to happen again. And this is how the argument is going to go. Well, they're bringing in the new digital currency now. We don't have no cash. And God knows that, we need to eat. God knows we need to have shelter. God knows I got to feed my babies. So if I take this little chip, it's not going to condemn me. Or if I take this mark, it's not going to condemn me because God knows my heart. Y'all know that's where it's coming, right? Y'all know it. That's just how it's going to be. God knows my heart. He knows I got babies. He knows I have a house. He knows I gotta eat. He knows all these things. So he not gonna condemn me to hell because I got a little tattoo or I got a little chip. But see, the question is, who you bowing down to? See, when you do that, just like you did with the lollipop, when you do that, who's your God? Them three Hebrew boys wasn't bowing before that king. He said, look, our God is able to deliver us, but if he don't, see, this is the kind of mindset we have to be. We have to say our God is able to save us, but if he don't, I'm not bowing the knee. I know I might not be able to eat, but I trust my God. See, that's faith. See, I might not have no shelter, but I trust my God. I know my God is coming to deliver me from this situation. But if he don't, I might have to die. I might have to starve. I might have to go hungry. My family might have to be without shelter. I might have to be without food. I know y'all don't want to hear this today. I might be without food. I might be without shelter. I might be without a job. But I'm not bowing the knee, oh king. See, like I say, when I talk about some of this stuff, I'm not going to be making definitive statements. You got to determine for yourself what I mean and what I'm saying. But I guarantee you a whole bunch of people going to do like I said. You know why? You know how I know that? I don't know. This mic sound a little funny to me. Hold on. Do I sound okay to y'all? If I do, give me one. Let me know if I sound okay to y'all. Give me a 1, 2 if I don't. But you know how I know people gonna do this? You know how I know? Am I prophetic? Can I see the future? I can see the future. You know, y'all, I can see the future. You know how I can see the future? Because I can see the past. I saw what a lot of people did during the time of the lollipop. And they're gonna make those same excuses. And you know what else? I see the same thing. When you teach about the flea doctrine, that's what they call it, the flea doctrine. God don't mean for us to flee. I'm waiting for God. I'm waiting till he tell me, which is good. I'm not saying don't wait. I'm just saying admit the fact that the Bible teaches we're going to flee. That's all I'm saying. But I see people who love Babylon so much, they're so caught up in the system, in the comforts, in the jobs, and the things that we grew up in, and it's all changing. Do you not know that they say, what was it? Was it 2 years or 3 years from now? I think it's 3 years from now. 14 million people are going to be unemployed. 14 million. Better get your social credit. Better get your universal basic income. And in order to get your universal basic income, you're going to need a tattoo. In order to get your universal basic income, you better do what I say. In order to get your universal basic income, if you say another word against the alphabets, I'm taking your money. I'm turning you off. You can't use cash no more. So you're gonna have to go try to barter something with people. But then again, if they catch you bartering, I'm telling you what's gonna happen. If they catch you bartering, you're going to be arrested because you're going out the normal flow of things. You're going against the system, right? So you're going to be arrested for bartering like you would if you were selling drugs. Oh yeah, you think you're gonna be able to barter? They're gonna have SWAT knocking on your door because they saw you trading a can of beans for a can of rice or a bag of rice. You ain't gonna be able to leave your 15-minute city without permission, and when you do, guess who's going to jail? Who's already the majority in jail? See, this is why I say the Exodus has to be near. This is why I say the Exodus has to be near, because ain't no way we're gonna survive this thing if it's not. All right, so before we get started, fair use disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, listen to me, YouTube. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing the copyright laws of the United States. Recognizes a fair use of copyrighted content. Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Act states, notwithstanding the provisions of Section 106 and 106A, the fair use of the copyrighted work, including such use by reproduction in copies of phono records or by any other means specified by that section for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, that's all we do. Teaching, that's all we do. Scholarship, research, that's all we do. Is not an infringement of copyright. So now that we had that out the way, I don't think it's going to make a difference, though. There's really no more laws in this country. But let's just see what's happening. I know y'all know about all this, but too much happening. I'm tired.
When Elias Brotberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID, and he doesn't need money. In fact, much of what he needs to get through the day is hidden right there, just below the surface, in his hand.
You like to touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Yeah, a grain of rice.
Embedded in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Yeah, it's all in chip. So I use it like to get around the building.
Buy snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's buy some snacks. Exactly. So I can't open it.
No.
Okay.
So what I need to do is I need to first blip my chip and it will log me in. And from there I get access to the fridge.
Popular TV shows like Black Mirror have imagined chips as part of a dystopian future.
Install ingrain procedure with local anesthetic and you're good to go.
In Sweden, the microchips are already here.
The microchip implants use the same technology that's in contactless credit cards,
which have made cash pretty much obsolete in Sweden.
No cash.
At this tech fair, a chipping event for those on the cutting edge, merging their hands with this new technology.
I thought it would be fun, right?
The process is simple and swift. A pinch of the skin, and in a matter of seconds, the chip is inserted. The transformation is complete. As for the pain,
I barely felt it.
But even in this nation of early adopters, not everyone is racing to get chipped.
All right, so I know this is an old one, but understand, I mean, this is what's coming, and it's coming very soon with, you know, the digital currency. So, look at this.
Hey, in this video I'm going to show you how WalletMore implant works in real life. After ordering a drink, food or any other product, all you need to do is tap in your hand to the payment terminal. Forget about the cash, card or even a smartphone. All you need is your hand. WalletMore implants are biosafe, secure, ultimately convenient, and they are globally acceptable. WalletMore is a wallet of tomorrow. Get into the new era of payments and get your implant now.
Interesting how WalletMore is tied to crypto stored in a wallet, right? So get it in your hand. So some of y'all think, the Bible don't mean what it says and it says what it means, right? So some of y'all already got excuses of why you're going to continue and be a part of the Babylonian beast system, right? All right, Revelation 13, 11 through 18. Then I saw a second beast coming out of the earth. It had 2 horns like a lamb, but it spoke like a dragon. It exercised all the authority of the first beast on its behalf, and made the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast whose fatal wound had been healed. And it performed great signs, even causing fire to come down from heaven to the earth in full view of the people. Because of the signs it was given power to perform on behalf of the first beast, it deceived inhabitants of the earth. It ordered them to set up an image in honor of the beast, who was wounded by the sword and yet lived. The second beast was given power to give breath to the image of the first beast, so that the image could speak and cause all who refused to worship the image to be killed. We talked about that in the past, being artificial intelligence. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark where? In their right hand or in their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark. What were they doing with that chip? Buying and selling, right? Buying, right? Buying and selling, part of the commerce system, which is the name of the beast of the number of its name. This calls for wisdom. Let the person who has insight calculate the number of the beast. For the number of a man, the number is 666, or Chi-Z stigma, which I think is more important to understand than this Chi-Z stigma, right? All right. So we see that it is part of commerce, it's part of purchasing, it's part of buying. Don't let nobody gaslight you. And a lot of these Christians and a lot of these Israelites going to be taking that thing, right? Just like they did for the lollipop.
Det är jättebra med att man har biljett på chip. Jag älskar alla företag som numera gör saker och ting med chippet.
Chip i handen är en väldigt ny teknik som kommer mer och mer, och vi vill tillsammans med våra kunder testa sån här ny teknik och se vad vi kan göra med den. Resenären lägger helt enkelt in sitt SJ-Prio-kort i sitt chip, och när man sen är ombord på tåget och ombordpersonalen läser av chippet så kommer biljetten upp. Så det är väldigt enkelt för resenären. Det kommer som ett önskemål från våra affärsresenärer som ville ha sin biljett på chip i handen, och med lite lätt utveckling så kunde vi fixa det, så det känns jätteroligt.
Jag tror att det kan vara en del av en ganska spännande utveckling där vi ser ett samhälle som slipper nycklar, kort, papper i allt större utsträckning.
Man har allting i sin hand.
Det är ett smartare samhälle och förhoppningsvis mer hållbart samhälle också.
It's very interesting that, a lot of this is happening in the same place, that, Hitler had, his little experiment going on with the people with the blonde hair and the blue eyes, right? So we sort of talked about that, when he was creating his Übermensch, the Superman. And so, a lot of the things we see today is still tied to Nazism, which is why you see what's happening over there in Russia or Ukraine. It's all coming together. And here's the thing. You got to determine what you're going to do. I've already determined what I'm going to do. I'm not taking it. I'm not going to be a part of it. whether I got to starve or I be homeless or whatever, or I get killed. I'm not taking it, right? I'm not worshiping no beast. I ain't worshiping no AI. I'm not going to be a part of their system. Now, what I do believe that the Most High is going to get us out of Babylon first before this really fully takes off. That's just my opinion from the scriptures, right? He's not going to leave us here. That's just my opinion. But if he don't, right? Our God is able to save us, but if he don't. So, like I said, you're going to have people who are going to make excuses. They're going to say things like, this ain't the mark of the beast. Yet it's tied to commerce and it's in your hand. I'm just saying. Whatever. Human implanted microchips back in the spotlight. Human implanted microchips are back in the news after biotech company BlackRock Neurotech, based in Salt Lake City, announced this week it has already implanted brain chips in dozens of patients. I was going to show a video on that, but I decided not to. You know why? Because it's sort of tied to the medical field. I don't want to be dealing with that. I don't want to be getting hit on the head because of that, right? So I'm not going to touch it. Y'all could do your research yourself. So we are the only company with direct brain implants in humans, Marcus Gerhardt, BlackRock's co-founder, told Daily Mail. Our implantable arrays have enabled people to connect directly to computers, control robotic arms and wheelchairs, play video games, even regain sensation with just their brain signals. BlackRock's technology uses an implantable microchip that has 96 arrays, small needle, shaped brain chips that can read and stimulate electrical signals. It can be placed anywhere on the brain surface. Multiple devices can be placed on the same person's brain. After implantation, the chip detects electrical signals generated by the wearer's thoughts. Machine learning software decodes these signals into digital commands such as cursor movements, which can be used to control prosthetics and computer equipment. The company is now seeking FDA approval for devices built for use outside the lab and to be used at home. Tech mogul Elon Musk has also launched similar plans with Neuralink, an implantable device he hopes can be brought to the market in the near future. The use of microchip implants to biohack our body is nothing new, and applications are already numerous and growing. Today, more than 50,000 people have elected to have subdermal chip surgically inserted between the thumb and index finger to serve as their new swipe key or credit card. Tech company Walletmore has developed a new app called Purist, which is a digital wallet combined with a microchip that can be installed in your hand. Once the chip is installed, a person can then use the app and chip to make payments to businesses that also use the app. So what does the scripture say about the mark? You won't be able to what? Buy, trade, or sell, right? Walletmore's chip is quite light and is only a bit bigger than a grain of rice and is composed of a microchip and an antenna, which is surrounded by a biopolymer. The chief executive officer of the company, Wojtek Paprota, claims that it is entirely safe and also has regulatory approval. Walletmore has priced the implant procedure at $300, I'm rounding up, and says the system can be used to make everyday normal transactions. The implant can be used to pay for a drink on the beach in Rio, a coffee in New York, a haircut in Paris, or your local grocery store. Founding chief executive said in a statement to BBC, it can be used wherever contactless payments are accepted. What did the Bible say about the mark of the beast? You won't be able to what? Buy, trade, or sell. The microchip does not need battery to function, nor does it need any other power source, which makes it quite attractive to the users. A 2021 survey conducted in the EU and UK came up with the result that at least 51% of people will consider having a chip implanted in their body. On the other side of Europe, Sweden has been rapidly expanding its use of microchip technology for some time, with tens of thousands already microchipped. Notes and coins now make up less than 1% of Sweden's economy, which is ironic considering it was the first European country to issue modern banknotes in 1661. No cash accepted signs are now the norm in shops across Sweden as payments go digital and mobile. But many Swedes want to take it to the next level as they blend tech with the human body. Microchip implants that give people the ability to conduct financial transactions, monitor their health, including vaccination status, and even replace key cards to allow them to enter offices, buildings, or the new rage as thousands have already been implanted. Many technological enthusiasts believe this is the next logical step in digital society that is quite happy to give up privacy for convenience. That convenience factor is a big reason commuters on the SJ rail transit system have traded cash for chips. Now listen to this part. Many Bible prophecy experts believe each of these steps is taking us closer to global acceptance of a digital mark commonly called the mark of the beast that will merge technology and commerce with political and religious allegiance as described in the book of Revelation. Most Christians recognize that current chip implants are not the actual mark of the beast. You hear that, right? Most Christians recognize that current chip implants are not the actual mark of the beast, yet there is concern that acceptance of such technology is conditioning people for when the real one does come along. All right, who says it's not the mark? Why? Because it's not compulsory yet? So once it becomes compulsory, does that make it the mark? Because guess what? It's a chip in your hand or mark in your hand, 2 stick or 2 prick denoting ownership. The only thing right now is in many places you still can buy without it. But guess what? In Sweden, what did they say? In Sweden, most of the stores don't take cash. Almost every store is digital in Sweden. So my question to you is, does that make it the mark of the beast now? Because in Sweden, you cannot what? Buy, trade, or sell unless you have the mark or the implant. So he says most Christians recognize that the current chip implants are not the mark of the beast. See, this is how people are going to rationalize the mark. So let me ask you this. So if this isn't the mark of the beast, is it okay for you to take it, family? Yes or no? If this is not the mark of the beast, is it okay for you to take it? Though it looks like it. It looks like it. And in Sweden, you can't buy, trade, or sell. But how many Christians are going to say, because this guy says it's not the mark, they're going to take it? Oh, well, it's not the mark. Let me take it. How many Israelites going to say, oh, because this guy says it's not the mark, let me take it? Oh, in America, I could still buy, trade, and sell without it. But in Sweden, I can't. Does that disqualify it from being the mark of the beast? Or is it just the fact that the mark of the beast hasn't fully taken over the planet yet? But it's still the mark of the beast. I'm just saying. I'm just asking questions. I ain't telling nobody to do nothing. I'm asking questions. I told y'all, read between the lines. What often starts off as voluntary can just as easily become mandatory, and whereas tech itself may be neutral in the hands of the wrong person, it could be extremely dangerous. Imagine the technology of today in the hands of Hitler. Now, would you consider the fact that on the stores in Sweden, they only take digital? And does that considered compulsory? So if all they do is take digital, Okay, and right now you can use credit cards, I'm sure, right, and stuff like that. But a lot of them starting to use the chip. So it's becoming to the point in Switzerland where even though they don't have a gun to your head, you can't buy, trade, or sell. There are also growing fears that an economic collapse and current reset could bring about an era of forced digital cash that would be necessary to conduct commerce. Digital cash with biometric practicality would seem to make a perfect union for convenience and security. Christians have long debated the meaning of the mark of the beast. Our generation, however, appears to be the first to have the technology to fulfill this prophecy. Soon you may have to answer the question, would you get chipped? And my contention is most people will, because they're going to make excuses. They're going to make excuses. Looks like a duck, quack like a duck. Is it a duck? I'm just asking a question. Swedish company offers a you-know-what pass that gets under the skin. Amanda uses her smartphone to scan a microchip implanted in her hand to reveal her dystopian nightmare or a simple convenience. A Swedish company implanting chips under the skin has it promoting its device for use as a you-know-what pass in a country with thousands of early adopters. I think it's very much part of my own integrity to have myself chipped and keep my personal data there with me. I actually feel that it's even more controlled on my end. Amanda, a Stockholm resident who has implanted the subcutaneous chip developed by Disruptive Subdermals. Though still rare, several thousand Swedes have opted to have an electronic implant inserted under the skin in recent years, eliminating the need to remember key files, business cards, public transport cards recently, and you know what. The country that created the show Real Humans and its English language adaptation Humans is also a stronghold of so-called biohackers who are convinced that humans will become ever more entangled with technology in the future. You're not going to be human. I have an implant in my arm and I program the chip so that I have my you-know-what on the chip. And the reason is that I always want to have it accessible. And when I read my chip, I just swipe my phone on the chip and then I unlock and it opens up. I have my chains with me wherever I go. I have my chains with me wherever I go. When I'm on the plane, I have my chains with me. When I'm in my car, I have my chains with me. When I'm in the movie theater, I have my chains with me. So they're not on my ankles and my wrists and my neck anymore. A chip implant costs €100 if you want to buy the more advanced versions. And you can compare this with, for example, a wearable that will cost perhaps twice that, but at the same time, a chip implant you can use for 20, 30, 40 years, whereas a wearable you can only use for 3 to 4 years. For Soulblad, the pass is just one example of a possible application, which will be a thing for the winter of 2021-22. Okay, that pass, right? The Swedish entrepreneur added he has a strong interest in privacy. I'm sure they do. In order to the data to the chip to be read on a smartphone or other reader must be placed. Okay. While he acknowledged that many people see chip implants as scary technology, as surveillance technologies, Zloblad, whatever his name is, said that instead they should be viewed as a simple ID tag. Yeah, it's called the mark. They don't have a battery. They cannot transmit the signal by themselves. So they're basically asleep. They can never tell your location. They are only activated when you touch them with your smartphone. You will be part of the collective. They don't okay, let me scroll down here. All implants are voluntary for now. And if someone were to make them compulsory for prisoners or elderly people in retirement homes, you will find me on the barricades. Yeah, right. You ain't gonna be able to do that. Nobody can force anyone to get a implant. Yeah, right. All right, so now you all have to make the connections yourself because there's things I'm not going to talk about. There's things I'm not going to say. And the same thing with the whole thing in the head and all that kind of stuff. You got to figure that out for yourself and apply the logic of how that's going to be and how so many people around you are going to make excuses of why it's not the mark and they're going to take it. Guarantee you, Israelites and Christians going to make an excuse of why it's not the mark and they're going to take it. Okay, Federal Reserve announces July launch for the FedNow service. The service will debut with financial institutions and the U.S. Treasury on board. The Federal Reserve announced that the FedNow service will start operating in July and provided details on preparations for launch. The first week of April, the Federal Reserve will begin the formal certification of participants. For launch of the service, early adopters will complete a customer testing and certification program informed by feedback from the FedNow pilot program to prepare for sending live transactions through the system. Certification encompasses a comprehensive testing curriculum with defined expectations for operational readiness and network experience. In June, the Federal Reserve and certified participants will conduct production validation activities to confirm readiness for the July launch. We couldn't be more excited about the forthcoming FedNow launch, which will enable every participating financial institution, the smallest to the largest, and from all corners of the country to offer a modern instant payment solution, said Ken Montgomery, first vice president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston and FedNow program executive. With the launch drawing near, we urge financial institutions and their industry partners to move full steam ahead with preparations to join FedNow service. Many early adopters have declared their intent to begin using the service in July, including a diverse mix of financial institutions of all sizes, the largest processors, and the U.S. Treasury. In addition to preparing early adopters for the July launch, the Federal Reserve continues to engage a range of financial institutions and service providers to complete the testing and certification program and implement the service throughout 2023 and beyond. Montgomery noted that availability of the service is just the beginning, and growing the network of participating financial institutions will be key to increasing the availability of instant payments for consumers and businesses across the country. The FedNow service will launch with a robust set of core clearing and settlement functionality and value-added features. More features and enhancements will be added. Take note. More features and enhancements will be added in future releases to continue supporting safety, resilience, and innovation in the industry as the FedNow network expands in coming years. With the FedNow service, the Federal Reserve is creating a leading-edge payment system that is resilient, adaptive, and accessible, said Tom Barkin, president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond and FedNow program executive sponsors. The launch reflects an important milestone in the journey to help financial institutions serve customer needs for instant payments to better support nearly every aspect of our economy. About the FedNow service, the Federal Reserve banks are developing the FedNow service to facilitate nationwide reach of instant payment services by financial institutions, regardless of size or geographic location, around the clock, every day of the year. Through financial institutions participating in the FedNow service, businesses and individuals will be able to send and receive instant payments at any time of day, and recipients will have full access to funds immediately, giving them greater flexibility to manage their money and make time-sensitive payments. Access will be provided through the Federal Reserve FedLine network, which serves more than 10,000 financial institutions directly or through their agents. So I don't have to connect the dots for you. You all are smart and intelligent people. You can see how all of these things come together to form a prophetic whole. Y'all know what I'm saying. I told you, y'all got to read between the lines because I'm not going to be spelling it out for you. Now, my question to you is this. If the pilot project is coming out in July, and they have these features and enhancements that they want to add to the FedNow project, what do you think these features and enhancements will be? Could it be social credit system? Could it be integration with different types of payment systems? Some that goes under the skin? What could these enhancements be? Once again, how far can the Exodus be? If the Exodus hold up any longer, we're going to be in dire straits. I'm just saying, pray. All I do is share what I see. Look, I don't even know what else to say anymore. That's how many prophecies are coming to pass today. I don't even know what to say. All of them are pretty much almost here. All we looking for right now is probably that man of sin or whatever it is, or that AI of sin that's going to pretend to be a god or whatever. I don't know what it's going to be. People always worship idols. It wouldn't surprise me that AI is just another idol with a polyon possessing it. Who knows? I don't know. But see, the thing is, like I said in the beginning, many people are going to make excuses of why it's not the mark. And why it's okay, since it's not the mark, for them to take it. Oh, yeah, guaranteed. And a lot of Israelites going to be making excuses, just like a lot of Israelites went along with the lollipop. Guaranteed. And all the people going to be calling Tail Ministries names, because Tail Ministries says obey the laws, obey what the word says. Y'all say don't do it, don't do it. How many people told y'all? How many camps told y'all? How many churches told y'all it's okay, you can have the lollipop? How many? I know a whole bunch of them. I don't know what's going to happen in these next few months, but it ain't going to be good. The only thing that's awaiting us is the Exodus. Assuming we make it out of here. Otherwise, the only thing awaiting us is heaven. Some of y'all like to say the Shemaim. But a lot of people ain't going to tell you this because it's negative. I know it's negative. And understand this too. This ain't the only thing that's going to be happening at that time either. Increased persecution. Increased persecution. All at the same time. They're going to be coming for you Negroes. I know, Jacoba making me scared. No. The Most High say He's going to protect us. I'm telling you what I see on the horizon. What the way these people are moving and the laws that they're passing and the Jim Crow laws and the, all of this foolishness. It don't make no sense. The world has been taken over by Satanists. It don't make no sense. And like I said before, the biggest ones to worry about are the ones that look like you. Why? Because the ones that look like you give them an ear. The ones who look like you and say they're Israel, you take their statements as coming from the Most High if they say Yah says. The ones who look like you, those are the ones you let into your inner circle. See, them other people can't get too close to you. You see them coming a mile away, but it's them raccoons. They're the worst. It's them entertainers, them rappers, those actors, the actresses, the pastors. Y'all trust them too much. And then when people tell you, well, the word says, oh, I know it looks like the mark, but pastor says it's okay. Moray says it's okay. I ain't gonna listen to what you say, Jacob, but I don't like you anyway. That's not my business. I got the hard job. I got the hard job because I got to tell y'all the truth. See, no matter where it goes. I got the hard job because when y'all fussing and screaming at me, I got to take it, right? Even though, it ain't that easy for me. Y'all know I'm a fighter, right? We living in perilous times. These devils done gone crazy. These devils done lost their right ever-loving mind. These devils starting to look like devils. These devils even look like they shape-shifting sometime to me. I'm just joking. But that's just how bad it is. Y'all not going to get too much of this nowhere else. Why? Because the other people want to be a part of the system. I want to be a part of Father Yah's kingdom. I ain't looking to be a part of this system. Whether I got to go and be with my Father in heaven, or by the grace of the Most High, make it out of here and be one of the remnant who make it back to Zion. Who knows? One thing I do know, you best be ever vigilant. On your knees, drinking that water, looking up for the enemy. You better be ever vigilant because that enemy got all kind of traps set for you. You better be ever vigilant because they got people in your household who going to be seducing you. You better be ever vigilant. I've seen so many people put so much pressure on their own family members during the last 3 years. It's ridiculous. You think they were working for the government. Y'all best make sure you right with the Most High, one-on-one relationship, born again of the Spirit. And don't listen to these Torah-only guys. Yeshua the only one gonna get you through this mess. This is the times we're living in. And I ain't gonna sweeten it up for you. I ain't gonna pour no sugar on it. I ain't gonna give you no candy with it. Straight up vinegar. No honey chaser. Straight up vinegar. But vinegar heals, right? Vinegar, especially Bragg's, heals that gut. I ain't giving you no honey with it because y'all need the straight vinegar, the straight shot. No chaser. That's just the way it is. We in warfare. And we've been in warfare for 400 years, obviously. More than that, really. But see, these last 3 years, they done gone full-blown worldwide warfare. Y'all just don't know you in the fight. And you know what happens in warfare? People get deleted. Some people don't make it out the war, especially those on the front line. But by the grace of the Most High, me and many others will make it out. I'm trusting the King. Ain't nobody getting out this without the King. I'm telling you, we are in dire straits. I'm telling you, devils are running the world. Devils been ruling the world, but they straight up took control of every facet of the government, every facet of commerce. They control your air, your water, even trying to control you. See what they don't tell you. Good luck having your own pure thoughts, having invasive things in you. They gonna know everything you think. Then they gonna control some of your thoughts to make you do stuff you would never do. Y'all be trusting people too much. I know we all do. We trying to survive. It's hard. Only the Most High can get us out of here. So if you ain't repentant, if you ain't repenting your sin, you best do it now. You ain't accept Yeshua as Savior, you best do it now. We at the threshold. Something's coming, and it ain't good. Peace and blessings, Israel. Your captivity is ending. Love you with the love of the Messiah. If you like what we do, please give us a like, share this video. Also, you can support us by Cash App, and also you can become a patron. And please support the Dry Bones Project.